Welcome to the ZoCo Podcast. My name is Cody.
I'm Trevor.
And we are here for a special edition of the podcast. We're doing a video again. And what else are we doing?
Well, we're Harry Potter. We are Harry Pottering it up right now.
Yep. So, if you can't tell, the set, Harry Potter. That was a theme. We talked about this on the last couple podcasts.
Yeah, this is podcast 25.
Dang. 25. We told you we'd do something special for 25, and so here we are. This is the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them edition of the podcast. So, Is it everything in Harry Potter? I know they're two different times, but we went and saw the movie last night.
We did.
We're going to talk about it. So if you haven't seen the movie, maybe wait till you see the movie to watch this podcast.
Yeah.
Or if you don't care about spoilers, go ahead and watch it.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge spoiler. We're going to be talking a lot about it.
We're going to talk all about the movie, and we'll talk a lot about Harry Potter too as well. So, first things first.
Let's dive into it.
We got ties. So I got the Gryffindor tie.
I got the Ravenclaw tie.
So
I can't talk right now.
See, what else? What else do we have around here?
Well, we've got the whole book series right there.
This is 1 through...
or at least the main story, I should say.
1 through 8, I guess. This is the Cursed Child.
The very end there, yep.
And, yeah, so these are the 8 books. The rug is a Marauder's Map rug. And we got a chest of goodies.
Yep. Which actually this holds the books. But
yeah, the books the books are held in the chest.
But we've got this filled with a bunch of goodies since we took the books out for display.
Yep. And, our own version of butterbeer. So,
cream soda.
Cheers. So, we went and saw the movie. I guess we should also, should we show these yet? Do you want to see what's behind the box? Can you see what's behind the box? Okay. I guess we should show them.
Alrighty, cool.
So we have wands.
Yep.
And a little bit difficult to take out, but...
Yeah, we got these online. I actually got a catalog that had these, so I was like, hey, Cody, you want to get some wands for the podcast?
So I know you guys have probably heard me talk about it on other podcasts. I had to get a very specific person's wand. That is Hermione's wand. So there it is. I'll probably take some pictures and then post them so you can see them a little bit better.
We'll have to get some pictures.
But they are definitely, they're really cool.
Yeah.
Very detailed.
I've got Sirius Black's wand right here. I actually really like the detail on this, just all these little runic symbols on the hilt there, and it's very, like, really cool Celtic kind of swirly pattern on the actual wand. These things...
They're heavy.
We were expecting probably, maybe like wood and cheaper kind of feeling. These are really hefty.
Or like a really cheap plastic.
Yeah, these are really hefty. I don't know what it is, if it's some kind of plastic or if it's like some kind of metal. It does not feel like wood. But it's really, they're pretty neat.
Yeah. Hermione's is decorated with like a vine and some leaves. And that's, it's a good wand. I believe yours is slightly longer than this one.
Oh, yeah. If we put them up together, it's a little bit longer.
And, yeah, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah,
so
these are pretty neat.
I'm just going to leave that one right there. But
put them on right there.
Should we dive into one of the goodies?
Let's dive into it.
Okay.
All right.
You got it?
I got it. Now this thing closes, right? So
yeah.
Okay. Well, first item, because I can reach it. We've got a black mug.
Wow, amazing. That's awesome. Well, it's a black mug. Well,
not really.
It's not really a black mug. It's got something else on it.
It's got something magical about it.
What else is kind of magical about the Harry Potter world? Well, besides everything.
Something always comes up.
It's
I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good.
That would definitely be a dang good guess, and I'm going to let that sit. Hopefully the water's hot enough.
Yeah.
It's a transforming mug with heated water. That's hot water.
Well,
was hot water.
Was hot water. It's warm
We'll
water.
see how it works out. If not,
that's a little bit.
We'll cut this section out.
Boy.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to change.
Probably not. We should have gotten boiling water.
Oh, it's changing. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, so... That is the Marauder's Map mug, kind of to go with the rug that's right here. Yeah, and We have some other goodies in there, but we'll get to those.
Yeah. Should we dive into the talking about the film?
I guess we should.
Alrighty. Well, what did you think about it, Cody?
Oh man, I gotta go first. I absolutely love the Harry Potter series. I love what she's done. She's created a world. She's done so much to create this. And she's also the creator of this next book, which because it's a book. It's like The Cursed Child. It's a screenplay.
Yeah.
And I've heard that they're going to make 5 movies out of it. And I know The Hobbit did it. The Hobbit made 3 movies out of one book. 3
movies out of one. Not very long book either.
No, it was a 300-page book.
Yeah, it's a 300-page book for that.
So as far as screenwriting goes, typically 1 page is about a minute's worth of footage.
Yeah.
So when you read a script, that 1 page is about a minute. When you have a 300-page book, especially one that's not all script, that's 300 minutes. That's not 3 movies.
No.
I mean, especially not 3 2-hour movies. That's 120 movies.
120 minutes is about 2 hours right there.
So, that's 360. That's a lot of fluff.
Yeah.
So, and they did add a lot of things that weren't fluff.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So that's what I'm a little nervous about. If they're making 5 movies out of this.
Yeah, I'm not.
Especially with, like we said, there will be spoilers and we will be talking about this movie. If you don't want to get spoiled about the movie, wait till you watch it and then come back and watch this, and you can get our opinion from it. They introduced the problem very quickly. The headlines said Grindelwald.
Yeah, it
was all the headlines in the paper, just like Voldemort was on Harry Potter. It was like in the newspapers and all his accomplices.
Yeah,
accomplices.
And
so they introduced Grindelwald as the villain, and we kind of dive right in the movie at that point.
Yeah, the intro, that's like the intro part of the movie is we just we're getting this, kind of like in they did it in like the 5th and the 6th movies where you see all the newspapers and Daily Prophets and all this. It's just going through like cycles of that same kind of little feature, and you see a bunch of different stuff, mostly about Grindelwald, and we get a glimpse into what he is. Like he's a dark wizard, but we don't really know much about him, really, just based off of that. We just know he's on the loose, and
there's no background story.
There's no background.
Nothing about what he's really done. He's a bad guy and he needs to be picked up. That's really about it. And the movie it goes into the guy coming from England or Great Britain, I don't remember where, and he's coming to New York, and obviously they kind of show that there's another witch around.
Yep.
And the classic mix-up of suitcases happens. I thought it would happen sooner. I thought it would happen at the first time that they bumped.
Yeah.
But it happened
later after
when they left. Yeah. So when they were leaving each other. So I kind of expected that when I first saw it, but
yeah, and of course, based off the advertisements, we already know basically what's in there. But of course, we get the glimpse when he's at the customs, basically, that there's something kind of trying to get out of his suitcase.
Yeah,
and then eventually something does get out of his suitcase
because he's sitting on the ship and it's rattling around. And he leans over and he whispers into his briefcase, saying, "Just hold on, just wait."
So we know there's something very magical about the suitcase, just based off of that.
And the movie is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So, right, he's gonna have some beasts in there. But it's a suitcase. How many beasts can you fit in a suitcase?
It's a magical suitcase.
Magical suitcase. Remember Hermione's bag when she put that enchantment on it? And she could pull out anything. So
that'll be the books.
He opens his suitcase. They showed it in the clip, in the trailer, when he's getting into the suitcase. Obviously, stair steps down into it, and it's a whole giant world.
Yeah,
with different ecosystems
just for these animals.
And I don't know, how many beasts did he have in there that you see?
You see tons because like he has like all sorts of insects and all sorts of just beasts of all kinds. It's just a whole ecosystem of just everything. There's a ton of stuff in his little suitcase there.
Yeah. So you kind of don't expect it, but huge amount. They first get down into a room and you think, okay, cool, it's like a room in a suitcase. But then they open the door and
there's
it's huge.
Like it's desert.
Could you imagine that?
And everything.
Could you imagine that? It's like you could carry everything in a suitcase. Everything. You could pack up everything into the suitcase.
and go hang out
anywhere you want with it.
Hang out in the suitcase.
I know we don't get religious here. But that would have made it so much easier for Noah.
Oh boy.
He could have put all the animals in there. That's what he was doing, right?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Been a much smaller ship. It would just been a boat with a suitcase.
Just been what would have been the suitcase.
8
floating
people,
along there.
8 people floating along on a suitcase. Yeah, that'll work.
Oh man.
But what did they call the Muggles?
Oh, so
did not like this.
Yeah. So okay. So premise, of course, we've already mentioned this is in New York. So this is in America. This is not in England. Yeah. This is so just like the British have terms that we don't necessarily use that we're kind of unfamiliar with, and same thing. So in England they're called Muggles. In America they're called Nomads.
What?
Yeah, and it's like
what
they bring it up, and it's like even the transaction was kind of like a little bit like rushed because like the lady like takes him over to the side and is all like
is he a
like,
nomad?
Is he a nomad? And it's like what? No magic. They're non-magic folk. Oh, we call them Muggles in England.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
It's just like really so. I don't know. It was kind of weird.
I think they maybe could have put a little bit more of an effort.
Oh, that's the thing.
With
it's
a
like,
name.
Yeah, it's like they tried to be clever about shortening it as no magic to nomad, but it's like it just sounds so weird. At first, I thought she said nomad. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like
nomad.
what? And then they said nomad, and I'm like, okay, that's what I thought they said.
Yeah, it was odd. Definitely odd.
Because Muggles has nothing to do with like it doesn't. It's not a word. It's a made up word that J.K. Rowling made, and that's what's so clever about it. That's what I like about a lot of J.K. Rowling stuff. Is she'll either take words and twist them around so that they make a complete word like diagonally. It's diagonally, but it's Diagon Alley.
Diagonally.
Same thing. It's like Muggle is just a made up word. That's just what they call them.
Yeah.
But instead, they have to be clever about abbreviating the word no magic to no mag. So it's like every time you hear that word, you just like cringe.
Yeah, it was a bit cringe-worthy.
You hear it a lot.
Yeah. They kind of run around with a Muggle. I'm gonna call him a Muggle.
Yeah,
a lot easier to say. I like the word better. And I guess the premise is they need to find and destroy something.
We don't know what.
You're not sure what.
You see something happen,
but they show it. They show exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But they don't explain anything.
They don't explain at all.
So it's in his. There's one of them in his suitcase, and someone asks, "What is this?" And it's like, "Oh well, don't worry about it." And it had a weird name. It was
what was it? It was
I don't remember.
I can't remember now.
Obscurity.
Yeah,
something
Obscurious
like that.
Or Obscurity.
It's just an orb. Okay, think of Lost. If you ever watched Lost, it was the black smoke monster with a clear orb around it. Just something weird. And this thing is pretty much powerful. It destroys cities. It can jack up your face.
Yeah,
when it kills you.
It's deathly.
And it possesses a child?
Yeah,
is that what I got from it?
Okay, so they did explain it later on in the film. However, you don't find out what it is until like way later in the film. What it is basically when they call it nomad. Whenever somebody with magical, abilities that is living in a world, basically suppressing their powers pretty much, because we know that witches and wizards, when they're by themselves, they have those powers and they learn about it, but they don't understand it, so they try to suppress it, try not to get persecuted basically for it, because that is a big thing in the book, in this movie too, is that there's this group that persecutes witches and wizards and is trying to get them exposed and trying to get rid of them. So when they do that, it brings out this curse, basically, that it's a parasite, and it pretty much, after a while, it kills the host and just goes out and just demolishes a ton of crap.
Yep.
It's this big burst of dark magic, pretty much, which I think is kind of weird that it's like, why would there be dark magic in a child? Because it's, it's children that we're mainly talking about.
And they even mentioned that they have never seen one live past childhood, meaning I think roughly 8 to 10 years old is what they were saying.
Yeah.
So they didn't. I don't want to say it yet because we'll get to that. We'll get to the end of the movie, but yeah. So they're looking for a child, a demon, not demon, but
yeah, and it's like. It's like they're not even looking for it. It's this other guy's looking for it, and you don't know what he's looking for. You just know he's looking for a child, but we don't know anything about this until the very end of the movie, pretty much.
You know how you have the Ministry of Magic? Well, in America, they had a Ministry of Magic as well, but it
was the Congress of Magic.
Yeah, it was, American terms, not so much.
It was like, what was it? It was like the Magical United States Congress or something like that. Yeah. It was something interesting like that.
There's obviously a guy who's a little bit different than everybody and kind of portraying like this could be the bad guy, and they kind of lead that up that he is. And he's associated with finding out what this obscure thing, whatever it is. Yeah. And he's looking for it. But I think he knows to some degree that who has it, who's possessed by it, and who you originally think it is not who it is. They lead it to be this about an 8-year-old girl.
Yeah, but they don't lead it up till the very end of the movie again. Like they don't. Yeah.
Well, they take an odd family.
And it's the family that's persecuting everybody.
Yeah, it's the family that's
this lady is adopting all these kids basically, and like kind of indoctrinating them to hate. Yeah, magical people,
and they're seen as a weird family because they go to help the upcoming mayor, and they want nothing to do with them. They say, "Get out of here! You guys are a bunch of freaks." And then, I don't know. They take that family. There's roughly an 8-year-old girl, and they kind of, as they explain what this thing is, they hint that it could be this little girl. But the little girl also has two. Is there 2 other kids?
There's like 2 other little kids, yeah.
And you have the odd older brother who's just he's always slouched, and the way I looked at it, really almost like a bowl. It's a weird
very
kind of
odd bowl cut, yeah.
Yeah. He almost had kind of the attitude and characteristics of Luna's dad.
Well, and even at one point, like this one guy from the Congress brings out the Deathly Hallows.
The guy who looks a little shady in the
brings out a little necklace with the Deathly Hallows on it, which is even funny too because it doesn't make that a big thing. You notice it, but it doesn't make it a big thing.
When he puts it over his head,
you don't really.
The guy's facing away from the camera, so you see the guy putting it on his neck. So all you see is a little strap going around his neck, and the camera kind of pans over to the front, and for 2 seconds. You see a shimmer of the triangle, the circle, and then the line. 2 seconds, you barely see it. The same symbol that Luna's dad had. So it was almost like this could possibly be Luna's dad. I get it, he's in America. Yeah. I don't know the background story of Luna's dad, but it's not Luna's dad. We find that out in the end.
Yeah, we find that out.
But same characteristics, kind of the same attitude, weirdness. Quirky, staying to himself, kind of an attitude.
Yeah, just very, very shy.
Yeah. So, yeah, they go from there. They are finding this orb. They gotta, of course, recapture the beast because when they swapped out the suitcases,
the
beasts are roaming the place, destroying things. Stealing money and golds and shiny things.
Oh yeah, there's some definitely some interesting creatures.
Little platypus, whatever that thing is.
Whatever it is, it's definitely. Overall, I think the film, tried too much to put too much in though.
Also, something else I pointed out too, there were not enough spells that were different.
Yeah.
Now I get it. we have all these books right here that set the tone of the world and spells. But remember, all these books, these are kids in a high school almost, or even,
it's
a little bit before.
It's a boarding school basically.
Yeah. So there's 7 years of schooling right here.
Mm-hmm.
They all use the same spells that were taught in these books.
Yeah.
You would think that a grown adult who is, out of school, obviously, is going to use a little bit more higher spells than what you would learn in school. These are basics. Yeah. You learn the basics here. And then you go on and you learn more
spells,
by practicing and learning new stuff, reading the books. Obviously, Hermione is the one who read the books. She knew all the extra ones.
She knew all the good spells.
But they used all the same spells.
A lot of them, yeah.
For instance, opening a door. How do you open a door? Alohomora, right? You wave your wand, Alohomora, it unlocks. Well, they're at the American
Congress,
whatever, and a witch is trying to open the door.
Alohomora.
Not working. Not working. A wand, right? Can't unlock it. Well, she's got the muggle with him.
And he kicks down the door.
And it opens. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
That part was like what?
I looked at Trevor and I was like,
no.
What?
No.
This isn't right.
Oh, man. Yeah, because that was the thing. It was a magically sealed door because you see it when she waves her wand and does a Alohomora. It glows, but it doesn't do anything.
A magically sealed wand that cannot be opened by a magician or a witch, in this case, with a wand. It doesn't open. It doesn't open. What the heck?
It doesn't open?
It doesn't open. So, I don't know what happened there, but...
Yeah, that was a little... not very clever.
No.
At all.
That part needed to be changed.
See, he should have grabbed the wand and just shook it and then just have it blow open.
Oh, yeah.
That would be better, at least.
Because when you have someone's wand that's not your wand, it goes a little haywire.
But then again, he was a muggle, so...
Yeah, probably wouldn't have done
anything. But who knows?
Probably just waving a stick
around. Or he should have grabbed her hand and try to help her out. Have it blow open. That would be better.
And of course, they have the typical love story where the witch falls in love with the muggle. And of course, they can't fall in love, so she tries to, part her ways. We get towards the end of the movie where we find out that the dark-ish kind of wizard who has been conducting this search
is actually Johnny Depp.
It's Johnny Depp. Oh my gosh. It was Grindelwald, and Grindelwald is played by Johnny Depp. He gets a 2-second role in the movie.
Yeah, he gets literally 2 lines in the whole film.
But as his face is morphing back into Grindelwald's face, you can see slightly, just a hint, that Johnny Depp is behind that face.
Yep.
That is about the shortest role Johnny Depp's ever played.
Of course, if we're making 4 more films.
Oh, yeah.
Then he'll probably have more. He'll have a lot more roles.
But that's what doesn't make sense, is that they captured Grindelwald.
Yeah.
And now he's in prison. And so your antagonist is gone. Where's your antagonist for the next movie?
Yeah.
Unless he escapes.
Which it's going to have to be.
Speaking of escaping prisoners, there is a name brought up in this movie. They reference 2 names that I caught from the Harry Potter series. Mm-hmm. They do mention Albus because the main character, he's obviously from England, and he went to Hogwarts.
He was a teacher there.
Albus Dumbledore recommended him to go do this, and we do learn that he does work for the Ministry at the end.
Yeah.
So he is a part of the Ministry, something to do with beasts. The other name that was mentioned, who he is in love with. It's clear that he's in love with this person.
Yep.
It was a Lestrange.
Yep, it was one of the Lestranges.
We don't know who. It's definitely not Bellatrix.
Well, this is 1920s.
Yeah, this is 1920s. It could be her mom.
Or grandma.
Which, if it is her mom or her grandma, that means that the main character is married to a family line that leads to Voldemort. Because in The Cursed Child, we learn that Bellatrix Lestrange had a child with Voldemort.
Yep.
Who is also the antagonist in The Cursed Child. So, yeah, it's just weird ties. Those are the only two names that I caught.
Yeah, those are the main ones. Wasn't there a Grindelwald also in the original series?
I don't remember a mention of Grindelwald, but the name sounded familiar when they brought it up.
It sounds very familiar, like because wasn't he a wand maker, like another Grindelwald maybe? I don't remember. But
hey, we saw one more thing in here.
Oh yeah.
So the mug kind of did turn, not too much.
It did change. Actually,
it said mischief managed, and on the other side it says, "I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good." It should have changed a little bit more, but I don't think the water was hot enough. But
I can't get that.
Every good podcast needs. Oops, that was a mic bump.
Mic bump.
Cookies. I know this has nothing to do with Harry Potter,
but they're good.
But they're good snacks. They eat a lot of snacks, so we have to have our snacks too. So overall, I enjoyed the movie.
It was an enjoyable film. Like overall, there was a lot of good stuff about it. Some funny parts too. Like the Muggle had a bunch of like random outbursts.
Yeah, but that was great. When you drink alcohol, I would be like, woo! So, but yeah, go see it.
Yeah, it was definitely a good film. Something good to watch. There's a lot that we could bag on about it, but overall enjoyable. Very well,
I liked it.
Yeah, it's still pretty creative.
And if you've seen it and you'd like to tell us what you think about it, leave some comments and let us know what you think. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe, I don't know. We also did not read the books, so we don't know. We went into this movie kind of blind, and this is our opinion, only watching the movie, not reading the books.
Yep.
And I'll probably go back and I'll read the book at this point. So.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well,
we'll turn off the camera with this.
Alrighty.
All right. Ready? What's the spell for turning off a camera with a wand?
I don't know, but the opposite for Lumos is Nox, so.
All right, well,
or Mischief Managed. We could just do Mischief. We've been doing a little Marauders map here, so we might as well just Mischief Managed.
Obliviate. Well, that's it. It's gone. The camera's gone. You can only hear us now. But this is Cody.
And this is Trevor.
And we'll see you next week for the next podcast.
Later.
Bye.